Hello my friends and welcome back to the cursed world of modded Subnautica. Today I have an amazing plethora of mods to show you both in Subnautica Below Zero and in the base game, because we can just do that. It's 2022, who's stopping us? But first, before we start, I want to give a massive shout out to Lee23, who besides being an absolute Chad, is somewhat of a Subnautica modding legend. He has worked on like 80% of all of the coolest mods that have come out for Subnautica. He has always been there for me whenever I ran into trouble with some mods, and whenever I had some crazy stupid requests for something to be done, he's quick to action and incredibly talented. He's the person we can thank for creating the mod that's in the title of the video, and that's going to be the main attraction today. And so I'll be putting his Patreon, which I urged him to create, in the description below. And guys, if you have the second to spare, please go check out the Patreon. Every single dollar helps. At the highest tier, you can even make mod requests yourself. And if that's not amazing, then I don't know what is. But anyways, Subnautica, somewhat cold. You might remember that in the past we have done the no water challenge, and since then I've seen several people attempt the Subnautica but the water lowers or increases every insert time frame here. Well, now thanks to Lee, that is possible with the update to the custom water level. If you scroll all the way down, you now have these additional sliders including time between movements, distance per movement, and water vertical speed. Now essentially by tweaking these, you can set the water to increase or decrease at any rate you want. And I say,
let's go break the game with this.
Okay, here we are. So I currently, oh boy, the water's already going now, oh boy. So I currently set it up, set that the water increases by I think 5 meters every 30 seconds. So you guys can imagine that we're just having some pretty intense global warming out here in Sector 0. 30 seconds have passed and the water rises again. I cannot believe how well this works. Oh, look, we're already above the freaking icebergs. I would imagine these guys are a little confused. I'm not, I'm not surprised. Oh, and the water's rising again. Oh boy. What do you think is happening to the snow stalkers? Oh gosh, oh that's so freaky. I just wanted to go see what snow stalkers are up to. But I believe their territory might now be mostly underwater. Whoa, look at this area. Ah, this is crazy. Look at this. Okay, we're on the upper layer of icebergs. I don't think we should be able to get here. And this will soon begin flooding as well. This could be like a crazy challenge to try to stay on top of land as much as possible, and I already failed it. Well, good to know that the birds are completely fine. Oh, look at my friend over here. The snow stalkers are a little bit confused. The amazing thing is that the weird bug, where if the water level increased too suddenly you couldn't swim up anymore, is no longer present. This works like a charm. Oh boy. So I traveled to Outpost 0, see what's happening, only to realize it's completely flooded already. Oh boy. Y'all remember back in the day when the game kind of started you out going through here? I remember. Well, if this isn't the most cursed thing you've seen today, then I don't know what would be. Yeah, you know, I think at this point, we're really accessing areas which should not be accessed. Ah, this place is just kind of getting submerged. Wow, this looks so cool. Look at this freaking biome. Honestly, this is actually a pretty freaking good look. There's a snow stalker there, don't worry about that. Look at that. Okay, well clearly the ice worm doesn't care about water. Yeah, the ice worm is completely fine. Well, this place hasn't changed that much. Hey, if anything, it's more real estate for the fish to have a good time. It looks kind of cool from up top, though. I regret to inform you that the greenhouse has indeed sunk underwater. Apparently, the bulkhead out here also stops water from getting in. Yeah, that's how physics work. Holy moly, is it just me, or is this also kind of terrifying? I kind of want to go back. Now, of course, I will show you what it looks like when the water decreases instead of increasing every couple of minutes. But before that, I have a couple of exciting mods to show you in the base game. Isn't it cool that we can just switch like this in one video? Alright, so first things first, do you just love your sea moth? Now, in the past you've probably seen and heard of mods such as the Enhanced Sea Moth Depth module. It's right here, and it allows you to craft the module MK4 and MK5. Obviously, these allow you to dive deeper in your sea moth. Just how much deeper? We're about to find out right now. Ah, there we go, 1700 meters. So with this, you could comfortably reach the end of the game. However, what if you wanted to get even more utility out of the sea moth? Well, luckily, there is another mod which you'll be very happy to see, and that is the Seamoth Thermal Reactor. Just like the description says, this will recharge your Seamoth whenever you're near something hot. And no, I don't just mean Henry Cavill. So now, not only can you take your little Seamoth that could into the lava zones, but you can also charge it while you're there because it's freaking hot all around. Now yes, in theory, it does make some of the other vehicles a little more obsolete, if you will. But hey, if you're somebody like me who just really loves the Seamoth for its maneuverability, and you really wish that it is something that you could continue tuning all the way through and make it an endgame vehicle, these two mods definitely give you what you desire. Now, moving right along, let's talk about base aesthetics. We all know that the true end game of Subnautica is to just pimp out your base to look as good as possible. But see, there's one thing that's always bugged me about these specific lockers, and that's, if they're glass, why do they always appear empty, even if you fill them up with stuff? Well, if that was your case as well, worry not, because here comes the Visible Locker Interior mod. And yeah, this mod works exactly as advertised. You can now open these lockers, stash whatever you want inside, and it will appear from the outside with the correct amount of materials and everything that you put inside. Now, of course, there are limits to this, like for example stashing the mobile vehicle bay inside won't really render it properly since, you know, like common laws of physics and 3D space don't really allow for that to happen. But for most of the other in-game materials, it really works well, especially for things that just take up one slot. Not only will this actually make these lockers more useful since you don't need to put labels on them, but it also, in my opinion, improves the aesthetic of your base and looks much more realistic, so there's no reason to not try this. And you know, I think it's a pretty good place to leave the utility mod. I will not be covering some of the other stuff that came out in the last month, because whoever thought of this, you're going straight to hell, I can just tell you that. Alright, so now back in somewhat chilly Subnautica, why don't we try setting the mod the other way around? Yes, you can set it into minus as well, and I think this can have some pretty interesting results. Okay, I've set the game so that every 15 seconds, the water will go down by, okay, that's more than I anticipated. I think I set it to like 15 meters or something, and wow, that already... Oh my god, that's fast. This is like somebody unplugged the bathtub. The plug that the precursors had installed on the planet has been removed, and now all the water is rapidly draining out. Oh boy, this is... Okay, I might have overdone it a little bit. I apologize to all the wildlife in this game. You guys are suffering for our entertainment. Oh my god, this thing's falling from the skies everywhere. I see the yellow blood all around. That's good to know that things are dying. Oh, this is pretty intense, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This is really something. Again, I think this would be a really interesting challenge if it was set to a more reasonable pace. I think this is a little too intense. Wait, I want to go see what the vent gardens are doing. I also hear a Calicerarid somewhere. I bet it's having a good time. Okay, there's the big shrimp. Oh, let's see what happens. Oh boy, this water is leaving. I am sorry, I am ruining the habitats of so many animals. Like the Calicerarid just straight up gave up. It's like, oh, whatever. See, I'm not exactly sure why the Leviathan's dead, but it sure is. Whoa, look at these things just floating above the surface like it's nobody's business. I mean, look at this. I'm out here in my mobile transport vent garden, which appears to be having a pretty tough time. That looks amazing. This is kind of like slowly revealing the entire world. Right, so I was looking down to see where the Mercury ship is, and then I realized it's all the way up there. Well guys, if you're down to accept the challenge, I think it could be really, really interesting to set this to something reasonable, and then actually try to beat the game with it. Of course, before we wrap up, I'm kind of morally obliged to set this to the craziest it could possibly be. Okay, now I imagine we're gonna see the difference pretty quickly here. Yep, there we go. I don't think the water level will actually ever stop. Well, you know what, guys? I don't honestly think there's anything else to add here. Yes, this is absolutely terrifying, but at the same time, it works so well. Even like the animal physics don't actually break at this depth. So the possibilities now are limitless. And yes, of course, because it is my channel, I will probably at some point try some crazy challenge, so if you guys have any ideas, please leave them down in the comments below. But that brings us to the end of this video, so I really hope you guys enjoyed some of these crazy mods. Again, massive shout out to Lee23, it would not be possible without him. Please go check out the Patreon link in the description below. It really helps the modding scene, and it's just a great way to show support. If you guys like this video, maybe consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. All of those would be very much appreciated. And with that, I'm going to see you all in whatever next video I make. Bye bye.